Hi guys, how's it going today? So today is my first ever Q&A and I will be answering all of your questions that you left on my YouTube channel and a couple off Facebook and a couple off Instagram. So basically I just want to say a big thank you and thumbs up to you guys for everyone that's subscribed, everyone that does the thumbs up likes, everyone that comments in my videos and everyone that watches my videos. It's a big thank you from me to you to basically say, honestly, thanks so much, your support is amazing. So let's get into this and I'll be answering every single question, so it's going to be quite a long video. First question is from James Vlogs and he says, what inspired you to start traveling and what did your family think about you traveling? Well, what inspired me to start traveling was probably my dad. My dad's a very big traveler, and when I was a young kid growing up, my dad used to go on quite long business trips abroad, and you know, like them old video cameras with the videotapes inside? One time he was in Hong Kong for about 2 months and he used to film like daily vlogs going around Hong Kong, and he used to send the videotapes back home and we would all sit down, me, my brother and my mum would sit down and put them in, like, you put the small videotape into the big videotape, put them in the recorder, and then we used to watch his like little vlogs going around Hong Kong. So like my dad's a big inspiration, my mum as well, and basically like travel shows and stuff like that and films, and yeah, just I've always wanted to go traveling, so it's always been sort of in me somewhere and I've just always wanted to do it. Next question is from Stephanie. How old are you and where are you and Ali traveling next? Well, I am 28 years old. My birthday is on the 14th of February 1988, and me and Ali are next traveling to Kuala Lumpur for I think 5 days, and then after that we have no idea. We're coming back to Chiang Mai, but yeah, after that we have no idea. She also asks, also, how much money do you save when you work then move on? E.g., when you worked in New Zealand, how much did you save for your next round of travels? Thanks, Scott, love the videos. Well, saving, when I first came out traveling, I had about £8,000. I made quite a lot of money in Australia. I don't know exactly how much because I sort of like just spend it as I go. Like I never really took account of how much I had. In New Zealand, I only made about 3,000 New Zealand dollars when I was there on top of what I had, and that's pretty much all gone now, so yeah. I think £8,000 is a good start off for any country. Next question is from Catherine Yu. She says, what 5 things are on my bucket list? So really quickly, 1, I definitely want to go skydiving. I went to go skydiving Cairns, got all suited up and the wind picked up so I couldn't do that, so definitely skydiving. I've always wanted to do paragliding because my dad used to do that. Always wanted to go on a road trip around America, around the United States. I've always wanted to be able to have sort of have enough money to be able to like sort of take my mum and my dad and my little brother like to some places that I've been. That'd be amazing. So that would definitely be on the bucket list, to be able to like, give them like a sort of like a 2-month trip somewhere or something. That'd be really cool, especially if it was like in a big camper van. I think the 5th one would be like to fly in a fighter jet. Okay, Scott A asks, we met in a pub in Australia, in Brisbane, and we met on the night of Halloween. We got talking, a big group of us, had a few drinks, and the next day Ali showed me around Brisbane and she took me for my first ever Nando's, and it just went from there really, never looked back. Next question is from Rebecca May. Where did you visit / stay in Australia? Did you ever make it to North Queensland? Yes, I did make it to North Queensland. I pretty much went all around Queensland, pretty much everywhere you can go nearly in Queensland. It was quite crazy. And we also made it to like the top of Darwin, made it over to Perth. The only like major place I didn't go in Australia really is like Alice Springs in the middle, never went there, and I never actually went to Melbourne or Adelaide. Andrew Witt asks, I noticed that you don't have a Mac and you use a Windows laptop. What software do you use for editing your videos? I use a program called Windows Movie Maker, which is probably the world's shittest editing software, but it just does it for me. I mean, I'm a real beginner still at this sort of stuff, So yeah, Windows Movie Maker. One day I'll sort of go up the ranks in the software. But Ellis DeFranco asks, where is your favorite place you've been to? Do you ever get homesick? Happy to see you on your own YouTube channel. Thanks, Ellis DeFranco. The favorite place I've been to so far, I would say, it's really hard because I've been to a lot of special places, but I think off the top of my head and recently it has to be Coron in the Philippines. It was just such a beautiful island and the stuff we did there was amazing. So yeah, Coron for me. Katie Kelly asks, cheapest transportation in Thailand. So a local bus in Thailand, which is like a real old shitty bus that just goes around local bus stops. You see them all over Bangkok. And last time I used one of them, I think for like a 20-minute trip, it was like 12 baht. So yeah, that's got to be the cheapest, I think. Bubbles D asks, do I prefer traveling in a group or traveling alone? It all depends. I mean, it depends what you're doing. If you're going sightseeing or you're going to do loads of activities, then traveling alone is sometimes good because then you don't have the mix-up of like people not wanting to do certain things. But then it also can be bad because sometimes like things are good in a group activity. So it all depends. I mean, I think if you're going to go traveling, definitely do it solo because you just meet loads more people and you just sort of find yourself. And then you can always like hang out with big groups from your hostel or whatever. So it all depends on the moment, I think. Jesse Greenleaf asks, where have you been that you wouldn't go back to? That's quite easy for me. It would be Cebu City in the Philippines. It was a hole of a place. No offense to any Filipinos, but it was really dirty, really crowded, and I've seen some pretty sketchy stuff when I was there. Just like real bad stuff. Yeah, I probably wouldn't go back there, to be honest. No offense to the Filipino people. Obviously, it was not for me. It's a weird name. Ayamia asks, traveling as a couple, I'm curious if you and Ali ever fight and what happens, who gives in first. To be honest, we're really, really relaxed people and very chilled and very easygoing, and we hardly ever argue. Like, I can't even think off the top of my head like many, or even if one argument that we've ever had. Like, it's kind of, we just like get along really well. So Jade Davison asks, do you miss the tune? And do you think you'll ever travel America? Definitely gonna travel America, 100%. Just need the funds in place to do that. Obviously, I wanna do it properly, so going there on the cheap is not a sort of thing that I wanna do. And do I miss the tune? I do miss the tune. Ming Mong asks, how many countries have you visited in total? That's just a crazy, I'm not gonna count them all up. A lot. Which is your favorite country? Which is your favorite country and which is your least favorite country? That's way too hard. My favorite country. Honestly, I can't answer any of those questions. They're just too broad. Like, there's different things that are good in each country and bad things in each country and good things in each country. That's just too, like, every country is good for certain things. Every country is bad for certain things. So it's just, you can't answer that. Hike Explore Repeat asks, what are the pros and cons of traveling with a significant other? I would say, like, pros and cons. The pros are massive, like, it's brilliant. And if you do really get along with each other, then it's amazing. Cons, I would say that you probably don't meet as many people, especially in hostel environment, because they kind of see you as like a couple, and like a lot of people might not come up and chat to you because they just think you're good, like sort of, you don't want to be interrupted and stuff. 2 Feet Heartbeat says, can we be friends? Yes, we can be friends. Josh Williams asks, Scott, love the channel, almost as good as Ali's but not quite. As an electrician, how much does it bother you that the Thai light switches are the wrong way round? Took me at least a week to get used to that. Yes, I do find it very annoying that the switches are the other way round. You press them down to turn them off and up to turn them on. It is very annoying. And the light switch by the front door over there, when we first moved into this flat, was a little bit wonky, so I was there like straightening it up. Yeah, a little bit of OCD there, I guess. But friend Amanda around the globe asks me, Where did you get the wig? I got it from the Japanese mart in the Mayor shopping center, which is like, you get stuff for like 60 baht in there, like everything 60 baht or 100 baht. It's pretty cool, pretty cheap. This is gonna be a long video. Okay, Spoo P asks, because I know how much British blokes love talking about their emotions, especially ones from Whitley Bay, what 3 things do you love most about Ali, and which 3 things do you think she loves most about you? Oh yeah, and the beard. In that heat, scratchy, no, question mark? Or perhaps it is one of the 3 things in part 2 of my first question. Wow. What 3 things do I love most about Ali? I would say personality, she's very intelligent and she is very, very funny. And which 3 things do you think she loves most about you? I think she loves like my massive personality. What else do you love, Ali? Can't I'll ask her, she's sitting next to me.
It's meant to be what you think.
What I think. I think she definitely loves my car door ears. She definitely loves them. My humour, maybe? I don't know. Good question. And the beard, no, it's not scratchy. No. I don't know if you've ever grown a beard before, but at one point the curls like do curl around and then they start like jabbing you in the face, and that's when it is like itchy and scratchy and sharp. Okay, Spoopy has been busy on here. She's asked me, he or she has asked me 3 questions. So she says, or he says, I don't know, when am I getting the baby elephant? I'll be getting the baby elephant in about 4 weeks' time. Basically, I need a premature one so I can fit it in my backpack and take it back home. So 4 weeks' time, hopefully. Another question from Spoopy. More, if I were to take a year off, which 5 countries would you say are a must go, excepting Australia, which for some reason just doesn't draw me? I would say the Philippines, Thailand, New Zealand, Germany, and Spain. Okay, Alex Patron asks, why was Chiang Mai chosen as the city to write the book in? I thought the video, why we're in Chiang Mai, would answer that, but it answers what you were there to do and not why that city was chosen to do it in. Okay, this city was chosen to do it in because there is a massive like influence of like people working here from abroad, like independent travelers and sort of vloggers and people that are here doing like drop shipping, and like a real big influence of that. There's a lot of co-working spaces. The internet in them co-working spaces is very good. It's very cheap to live here, to get an apartment, and it's a very nice place. There's not a lot of things here to distract you, so it's a good place to chill and write a book or do a lot of work. So yeah, that's the reason. Okay, Llama Pajama asks, does or did yours and Ali's traveling styles ever conflict? I know she likes to stay in the same place for a while. For example, is there anything you have to compromise on when traveling together? I would say it's more myself that's had to stay in a certain place, and Ali is stuck with me in the certain place because I've had to actually physically settle down and work. She is now completely location independent with her YouTube, so that's her only source of income. She's not working, so that's her full-time job, so she can actually move around and travel a lot on the YouTube. So it's more me, especially like in places like Auckland, where I had to settle down, find a job and build my savings back up. So yeah, I would say she compromises more than I do, but hopefully we can get to the stage where we're both location independent. That's the plan. And that's the plan with like sort of my YouTube channel. If I can get mine up to a certain level where from Ali's income and my little bit of income at the start, we can sort of keep both of us going, then that'll be great. Nomadic Unicorn asks, do you have separate travel insurance for your electronics, cameras, laptops, etc.? Some of the limits with a lot of agencies do not cover all the dang gadgets. Okay, well, took travel insurance out for the Philippines and Ali covered her laptop. I didn't cover any of my electronics, and personally I don't have travel insurance now, neither does Ali, and I've only ever bought travel insurance twice. I only ever bought it the first time I came traveling. I bought it for like 30 days, and the only other time was when we bought it for the Philippines because we didn't know too much about the Philippines. But to be honest, normally I don't have travel insurance for the 3.5 years that I've been traveling. Like, I've only had travel insurance for 2 months, so no. Ryan asks, do you ever envisage continuing your channel up until you are very old? Or do you see it ending when traveling ends? Well, no, I don't see it when traveling ends. That's one of the reasons I called my channel Scotty Does, is because it's about me doing things, like me as a person doing things. At this point in time, it's about travel, but I do want to do a lot of other different stuff. Like, I have a lot of ideas that I want to do. I am really into sort of like games and gadgets and stuff like that, so definitely sort of incorporate that into my channel at some point. There's definitely a lot of stuff that I want to do, so it's not always going to be about travel. Melissa Paquette asks, when you were young, what was your biggest wanted job for the future? 5 years before today, did you expect to live the life you are living now? So 2 questions there. So what did I want to grow up and be when I was a kid? I started off playing ice hockey when I was very young, and I actually managed to represent the north of England a couple of times, and I always wanted to be an NHL player in America. Then I wanted to be like in the Air Force and be a fighter pilot, and yeah, I kind of like, my dreams kind of ended after that. I just never really thought of anything else. I've always wanted to do something other than electrics, and at the minute, this YouTube is kind of like, looking into the future of this YouTube thing, I could see myself really enjoying this for many years to come. So hopefully it will provide an income one day, maybe, I don't know. Next question is from Jonathan Pickett, and he asks, with your travels, is traveling alone better than traveling with someone? And also, how is traveling with Ali, good or bad? Traveling with Ali is definitely very, very good. Yeah, very good. Traveling alone or traveling with someone, it all depends if you get on really well. I mean, me and Ali get on so well that it's never a hassle. Like, if I want to do something, I just go do it. If she doesn't want to do it, and vice versa. And most of the time, we both want to partake in whatever we're doing. So we kind of just like do it really well. I mean, I think it all depends. I would definitely say start off solo and then maybe like sort of find a few friends along the way that are really like-minded. I think if you start off traveling with someone and you've both never traveled, it always seems to work out that one of you loves it and one of you hates it. So yeah, I'd definitely start off solo. James Hengel asks, and when did you meet Ali? And the story of how you two decided to travel together. And are you currently working jobs besides doing YouTube videos? Okay, so when and where I met Ali was answered just before. So Brisbane, Australia, in a bar, Halloween, first date, Nando's, got that. Second is the story of how you decided, okay, so I moved into the same hostel that Ali was in at the time in Brisbane, and we just got to know each other, and yeah, sort of decided to travel. I didn't actually start traveling with Ali straight away because I actually found a job that I actually had to like fly up and down Queensland and everywhere working on hospitals, so we weren't together a lot of the time, but yeah, we just sort of kicked it off and it went well. Are you currently working jobs beside doing YouTube videos? No, I am not currently working, and Ali isn't currently working. Ali's job is YouTube. She makes enough money from YouTube at this point in time and through her Patreons and all of your lovely support on her channel to be able to be location independent and work completely on her YouTube. For me, my YouTube does not pay anywhere near enough to live on, but I have basically worked enough in my working holiday visas to be able to survive, even though that money is drastically going like this. And yeah, it won't be long before I kind of run out of money, to be honest. We'll see how long it lasts, you never know. Okay, next question. T. Barton asks, This is a very weird question, but hey ho. A magical tree elf appears and offers to grant you the ability to glide through the air like a flying squirrel. The only catch is you have to glide the same way they do by stretching out the excess skin on your sides and jumping from a higher point. You can still wear normal clothing, okay, great, thanks, over the extra skin on your sides, but to glide you'll have to be naked or at least exposed on your sides. Do you accept this new ability? That is one freaking strange question, man. Yeah. I'll step back to it. So, do I want extra skin here that I can pull out and then fly around and then land in a tree and like jump off a building? Well, they have invented wingsuits. So do I want this extra skin to pull out like a wingsuit? If it came back into the shape of my body, then definitely. But if it's literally just gonna be like loose, flabby skin hanging everywhere all the time, then no, I probably wouldn't accept. I'd just buy a wingsuit if I had enough money and if I really wanted to jump off buildings. But if it was like Stretch Armstrong, where you could just be like, then yeah, I'd do that. Austin Power asks, I'm currently planning a working visa trip to New Zealand. I remember from Ali's channel, y'all did a Q&A where you said it's easier to find a skilled job in New Zealand. What kind of skilled labour did you mean by that? Did you ever hear the need for any welders? By the way, thank you and Ali for the inspiration. You're very welcome. Thanks for subscribing and commenting. Yeah, basically any skilled labour. So if you're a skilled mechanic, a plumber, a carpenter, electrician, welder, whatever you're skilled at, there's definitely jobs going in both Australia and New Zealand and Canada, you know, working holiday visa there as well. So yeah, definitely anything you're skilled in, if you have qualifications for a skill, then you will get a job. Definitely. They're definitely looking for a lot of people. You can also go online and you can look at, I think you can do it for New Zealand as well, and you can look at like the top jobs that are going, like what are the most demanded jobs. At one point, electrician was the most demanded job in Australia at the time. They needed massive amounts of electricians. So go online, have a look, and yeah, if you have a skill and you have the pieces of paper to say you have that skill, you'll definitely find work. Anglo Dutchman Vlogs asks, have you guys had any real bad encounters where you were being mugged or harassed over the past few years while traveling? Well, if you go to Ali's channel and you check out the situation with the landlord, that was probably like one of the situations that we actually caught on camera where we were kind of being mugged and harassed. So yeah, a few other times, you know, with like, I don't know, one time a guy came into a pub where we were sitting at and tried to grab something of Ali's off the table, and basically I just got up and pushed him out the way and he kind of just like ran away kind of thing. So like, stupid stuff. I mean, I've been mugged in the past as a young lad. Like growing up in Newcastle, you're not going through life without getting into a fight or being mugged, like when you go over to Sunderland. And Spain was pretty hefty as well, with like the sort of Spanish and English teenagers mix. Like we didn't really get on. So yeah, I mean, not really while traveling, have we? Yeah, nothing majorly bad has happened while traveling. Fingers crossed, touch wood. Lawrence Morgan asks, advice for someone just starting out on YouTube. I also traveled for 3 years, in 2013 to 2016, but I did not take full advantage of YouTube as I did not have the confidence to see myself as a presenter at the time. I still don't see myself as like a presenter on YouTube or someone that will be good at making videos, but I kind of just bit the bullet and was like, right, let's just do this. If people like it, they like it. If people don't, then they're not going to watch it. So yeah, just take the leap. Just get yourself out there and just like, don't give yourself too much hassle if you're really shit at it. Just upload the video. I mean, if you go back and look at like old videos of like big vloggers, like even Ali's, like if you go back and look at Ali's first videos, like they're terrible. I mean, but someone has to start somewhere. You can only grow in this by actually uploading them and getting the feedback from people. I mean, it's one of the best jobs in the world, this, I think, because you can have like pretty much like immediate feedback, like with your thumbs up, guys, and your comments, like, and the views. Like, that's massive. That's like my work has gone out onto this channel, and for you guys just to put a thumbs up is like me going, oh great, like someone's happy with it, someone's done a good job. It's not anything else than that. Like, it's like having a pat on the back at work, you know? If I do a good job as an electrician, my boss will be like, oh yeah, great job, Scott. But that's only one person. I've got over 1,500 of you guys telling me, great job. That's amazing. That's like, that puts a massive smile on my face. It's just unreal. So yeah, definitely just upload. Just do it. Just get as many videos out there as you can, and you will get better and better. And Thebo asks, how did you meet your girlfriend? I've already answered that below, but yeah, bar, Australia, Halloween, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, already answered down below, but again, thank you for your question. Next question is from Joshua Durkin. He asks, how do you overcome homesickness? I never really got homesick because, like, I have lived away from my family before, like when I was in Spain and I moved back to Newcastle for a year or so, and like I don't really get homesick. But I would say for all you new travelers out there, the 3-month mark, if you can get to sort of 3 months and beyond, you kind of get over the whole homesickness kind of thing. Like, for the first month or 2 months, you're having an amazing time. For the second to the third month, you're sort of then thinking, oh, maybe like I'm missing home. Once you get past the 3 months, you don't really think about it. You've got into your routine of contacting your family and stuff like that, and yeah, it's not a big deal. It is hard. Like, just recently, a family dog, my little Jack Russell called Rudy, recently got hit by a car and sort of damaged his front leg, and yeah, I mean, when something happens like that, that's quite hard. And like, my grandma got ill and stuff. So yeah, when things like sort of happen back with the family, then it really sort of like puts pressure on you, and sort of like you really think about it a lot more. But yeah, I think the 3 months mark, you'll stop thinking about sort of home and family. Ed Quilter, my old Sparky mate, asks me, where's your favourite place in the world to have breakfast and who with? And Ed, it is definitely that little cafe that you used to take me when we were working on that big house, and it would definitely be with you, mate. Switman 2007 asks, everywhere you have been, which one is your favourite? Ooh, I think the Philippines. It has to be the Philippines so far, just because it was just so cool, and like the paradiseness of it was just mind-blowing. So yeah, I would say the Philippines. Okay guys, I hope that wasn't too long. I know, hopefully you stuck around till the end, and I hope you are happy with the questions that I answered and how I answered them. And thank you again so much for all your comments, all your thumbs up. Every time you watch, thank you so much, and everyone that subscribes to this channel, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!